Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to deconstruct one of the most important documents in offshore engineering, API Recommended Practice 14E. Think of it as the official playbook for doing one of the toughest jobs on the entire planet.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. How do you actually do that safely? It's not a riddle, it's the day-to-day reality for thousands of engineers. And the answer? Well, it's found in decades of hard-won lessons, all boiled down into one critical guide. Okay, let's get into it.
So, here's the game plan. First, we're going to paint a picture of just how brutal the offshore world is. Then, we'll introduce the playbook itself. After that, we'll dive into 3 key principles: how you size pipes to fight erosion, how you pick the right parts, and how you test everything to make sure it's absolutely safe. And finally, we'll pull back and look at the big picture.
All right, so first things first, we need to set the scene. Why is a standard like this so incredibly necessary? Well, it's because an offshore platform has to survive in one of the most hostile environments you could possibly imagine. We're talking about insane pressures, sometimes up to 10,000 pounds per square inch. You've got this huge swing in temperatures, but the real relentless enemy is the chemical attack. You've got saltwater, corrosive gases like hydrogen sulfide, CO2, and chlorides just trying to eat away at the steel 24/7. In a world like this, the consequence of failure is enormous. There is zero room for error. Okay, so how in the world does the industry fight back against all those forces? Well, they use a playbook. So let's meet our guide, API RP14E. Now, this is not some textbook theory cooked up in a lab. The document itself calls it a collection of proven sound engineering and operating practices. You have to understand, every single recommendation in here is basically written with the ink of experience, often tough experience. It's all designed to make sure that what gets built out there is both safe and reliable. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. One of the biggest battles an engineer has to fight isn't from the salty air on the outside, but from the fluid rushing through the inside of the pipe. And that brings us to this concept of erosional velocity. Basically, if the mix of oil, gas, and water flows too fast, it acts like liquid sandpaper. It literally scours away the pipe wall from the inside out, which is, as you can imagine, incredibly dangerous. So the big question is, how do you know what too fast actually is? Well, you calculate it. This surprisingly simple formula is right at the heart of the standard. It lets engineers figure out V, that's the maximum safe velocity, based on the density of the fluid, rho m, and this really interesting constant, C. And this right here is where you see the real-world genius of the standard. That C value, it's not some fixed law of physics. It's a number based on experience and judgment. You can see it changes depending on the situation. For a clean fluid that's always flowing, you use a conservative value of 100. If the flow is intermittent, or if you have really good corrosion control, you can use a higher number. It's the perfect blend of hard physics and field-tested wisdom. All right, so you've sized your pipes correctly. What's next? Well, you've got to put stuff in those pipes. And just like with velocity, making the right choice is absolutely everything. Because out here, a valve is never just a valve. You have to understand every single component, from a tiny little fitting to a massive valve, is a carefully engineered decision. You have to think about what it's doing, the pressure it's under, the temperatures it has to handle, and what kind of fluid is passing through it. One single wrong choice can put the whole system at risk. So let's put 2 common valves head to head to see what I mean. Need a quick, tight shutoff? The ball valve is your friend. But those soft seals mean it can't handle extreme temperatures, and you really can't use it to just partially throttle the flow. For a high-temp, heavy-duty job, you might pick a gate valve. But the trade-off? It's much slower to operate, and it can sometimes vibrate. The standard is full of these kinds of critical trade-offs, guiding engineers to make the smartest choice for each specific job. So the design is done, the parts are all picked out. Now for the moment of truth, actually building the thing and, more importantly, proving that it's safe. Before a single drop of oil or gas flows through those pipes, the whole system goes through an intense pressure test. And I'm not talking about a quick check. This is a super methodical process. You isolate anything sensitive, crank up the pressure way beyond what it'll ever see in normal operation, and then you hold it there. You hold it so inspectors can meticulously go over every single joint, every weld, and every connection, looking for the tiniest microscopic flaw. It is the ultimate final exam for the system. And when you get to the most critical, highest pressure systems, the places where a failure is just not an option, The standard is completely and utterly uncompromising. It demands 100% radiographic inspection of the welds. That means every single inch is basically X-rayed to prove it is absolutely perfect. No exceptions, no excuses. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. We've talked about erosional velocity, choosing the right valves, X-raying every weld. What's the big idea here? What does all this incredible detail really add up to? What it adds up to is a complete framework for safety. This document, API RP14E, it's so much more than a book of rules. It's the collected wisdom, the institutional memory that allows a massive global industry to operate safety in one of the toughest places on Earth. It's the bedrock of reliability. But I want to leave you with this because it's probably the most important part of the entire document. Right there in its policy statement, it says it's meant to supplement, not replace, individual engineering judgment. And that's the final crucial takeaway. No matter how good the playbook is, no matter how detailed the rules are, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the skill, the experience, and the judgment of the engineer on the ground to keep everyone safe.